Well, I decided to get on this webcam because there's noise in my hallway. And I live in Nashville. It's about to be 10 p.m. at night. So let's see if we hear the slamming of the doors in the hallway after 10 p.m. I looked out the hallway when the noise is going on. No one's out there, right? Makes you wonder though, right? You sit back when I watch a documentary video about certain things on the internet and such, on YouTube, right? You keep hearing someone slamming their door over and over again, like the garbage man that doesn't do that noise no more because we got a new garbage man, right? We got someone in the hallway slamming the door over and over again. I don't know why he's slamming the door over again. And I live in Nashville, and apparently I just came to my I noticed that see, I'm not really from Nashville. I grew up in Florida by Eglin Air Force Base. Anyway, besides that, I notice now there's a lot of spies in America, right? From all different nationalities, countries, different agencies in Nashville. Back then, I didn't give a hoot because I didn't take an oath for a government or, you know, not like that. But I noticed there's a lot of spy agencies, there's a lot of spies in Nashville. In America, too, right? But Nashville happens to have a lot of surveillance. Catch my drift. Has a lot of nicknames. Nashville has a lot of nicknames. It's called Dope City, right? Dope City, Cashville, Cash Vegas, or some crap like that, right? You know. Other than that, you know, it's past 10 p.m. and like I went walking yesterday, right? It was Thursday yesterday, and I usually watch Young Sheldon when I get home after my walk and everything. So I went walking and such, and it rained when I wanted to go walking and such. So I got home, took off my sweaty shirt, sweaty shoes and everything. Put my shorts on, and opened up the window to like relax. And I was watching some television or something, waiting on. I was debating. I was putting on YouTube on the PS4 thing to watch YouTube videos. 3 or 4 cops knock on my door talking about, you know, based on a family member. But I was like, my family member is in high school, and they had the wrong information. The cops had the wrong information. They left it. You know, that was that. And Friday rolls around. I had to wake up early in the morning, sign some paperwork and such, pertaining to my apartment and such. Under the circumstances, you gotta talk to people that you don't want to talk to. It's not really worth talking to people that you don't want to jeopardize your health. Talking to them, right? You can save that breath when you really need it, you know, right? Wasting it on you, you know, for some material things, right? That you don't need, right? So, you know, besides that, they had the wrong information. They had, so those 3 police officers or 4 police officers, I know there's more than 3, and they had the wrong information, the dispatch and such, and they went on and continued on with their whatever more important things to do in Nashville, right? Apparently, right? And I put my mask on and everything. I have my mask over there. And that's about it. That's all I want to talk about. Nothing really else to talk about. Other than, a lot of surveillance in Nashville. Like I'm Noriega or something, right? Or 848 man or something. You know what I'm saying? Right, Besides that, so it's after 10 p.m. I don't hear the door slamming no more. I got the window open, so you might hear some traffic run up the street that, it's Friday night also too, right? So, want to watch the YouTube video of today's news on Lester Holt. And I have antenna localized television because I get antenna TV. I lost my cable privileges since the first of this year. My show was the CNBC channel, and that's my entertainment. I like to be lost in the financial ecosystem of that CNBC channel early in the morning when they had the cops rolling by on Wall Street and such, talking about this and that, and you had like your oddballs at the windows while they're talking about speculating stock market prices and stuff. You have your guys drinking his coffee in the mirror, in the in the window when they're talking, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so you have that going on. And it's like a late, or maybe it's already, the game is the game plan has already been written down and it's already enacted and it's, So yeah, so that's that. So this time they sent 3 or 4 police officers to get me. Well, last time they got me, a guy went solo to get me, but he looked like somebody important in the realm of the Brotherhood of Forcements or something. He looked, I'll be honest with you, that guy that picked me up last year when my dad was in Ecuador, he went solo, picked me up solo. The cop that picked me up was chatty with me, like, what kind of games you play and such. But he looked like the ex-police chief's son or something. He looks like the ex-police. I put 2 and 2 together. But I didn't want to say nothing though. But I also thought I was going to get killed that night too. And then end up in some kind of hospital ward or something voluntarily. But, and then lo and behold, it was involuntarily. So that's that. And it's an easy accusation that that you can pin on, right? So there you have it. And that other thing too, there's other things that you can like fabricate, Photoshop, whatever, Other than that, I'm gonna sit back, do my thing. I got my check, so I got a bunch of money to spend, and all these people wanting to, in position to get your money though. They're all in line to get your money, right? What if? Just benefit, worst case scenario, right? There you go. So what if this is all paid in full for this virus thing or something? Paid with money, was it okay with you? Then find out you got rent to pay, you got a car payment, Think longer down the road, though, turn the page, a couple pages, Think about, okay, so you have $600 or $2,000, whatever. And you got all these like companies wanting your money. They're all like harassing you on your television, on your device, asking for your money, right? It's like a bum in a restaurant asking for a handout, right? While you dine in a restaurant. And that's no difference than a vagrant, right? In your home, right? Right. That's what I think. So, well, I haven't got drunk since my birthday in April, so I don't get drunk that much, but since April, so I want to get tipsy, but I can't under the circumstances, because somebody in my family might need my plasma, living plasma cells. Catch my drift, right? So my body's like a temple, so I'm keeping it clean, just in case. And it's never too late. I believe in change, You want to come clean with something and try to confide in somebody, I'll listen, but and you got all these investigations hitting the fan and such, though, that I was instructed a long time ago when I first moved here in Nashville, don't look at propaganda, don't take propaganda to heart. I wasn't really told, I was kind of like instructed, like a heads up, though. It's like 2002 or 2003 or so. Don't look at propaganda, don't take propaganda to heart, and don't look at the kiddies on the internet. I'm like, so, but they're on the dark web or projector or Polaroid and such. And my mom was living at the time, and she got divorced from my dad, and she was looking up strange things from Colombia, the country Colombia, right? Like FARC and, jungle shit, though, But my dad was in Ecuador at the time. So my dad's been there beforehand too, for the military and such, back in in the early 90s and such, like all through Panama, Nicaragua, Honduras. And he came up with a Mexican yo-yo. He gave me a Mexican yo-yo with a name on it, but I have to say the name, but I gave it to my friend up the block though. I mean, let her sister have it or something. They're like 22 on. But it's like a Mexican yo-yo. It's like a brick thing, and it's like a. It's pretty cool. And yeah, that's my biological dad. And he worked for Air Force. He had a one of a kind job, and it was like cadre of wartime readiness, fire protection chief of wartime readiness, up until 96 or 97. And he let me. He had you know, because he has a one of a kind job. He's not an officer. He's an enlisted. He tells officers to get him a cup of coffee on a round basis and such, with golf carts and such. I dreamt this, but anyway, probably true. You know. He's dead too. He died on April 29th. So yeah. He tells like colonels and lieutenants, like, hey, officer, lieutenant, colonel, whatever, go give me a cup of coffee and, go back to your cubicle, right? Go back to your PC cubicle computer and, and he's like, underground facilities with golf carts. Back then, when he was in Air Force in 96, 97, we had that job for a cadre of wartime readiness. I'm in Panama City, Florida in 1996 and 1997. Well, he let me, he wanted to like show me this Air Force base near Tyndall, but it's not really near Tyndall. He hand built that was hand-picked soldiers to build that base out in the woods near Tyndall, but not actually in Tyndall. Get my drift, right? So they're working out, and he wants me to roll with these dudes in a Humvee, like, right? They're EOD specialists. You know what them people do? EOD, right? And these are dudes from 1996, 97. Back then I was a cigarette smoker. I wasn't a Newport smoker because they got too expensive at the time. I was a GPC smoker, cheapo cigarettes. And I was just about to light the cigarette up too. And I'm like young though, so 96, 97, I must have been about 20 or 19 or so before I went to MGM Grand Casino when I was 21 in 97, so I'm 44, so I'm back at this Jeep or Humvee or whatever, and the EOD specialist just picked up a briefcase full of TNT or plastic explosives or something, C4 or whatever the hell it is, and the guy said, hey man, don't light up, you got, TNT in the back. Okay. So I'm like, okay, cool, man. So we get to our destination. It's a burnt down runway, a fake runway and such. And the guy had a detonator, clacker or a clacker. He had to click it 3 times. He was Mr. Hanson. I'm thinking my dad had to do it. And my dad handed it off to me and goes, here, do what the guy tells you to do. So I'm like, you're not expected to do things, that, on the cuff, on the fly though, right? So the guy told me to click it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and this big old explosion on our runway, an old runway in Florida, and it blew up. And I thought it was pretty cool, and you had all kinds of people trying to, that's kind of Olympics or something, Armed Forces Olympics and such, and they had ABC interviewed my dad at the time, but that was that. The British soldiers were cool. They wanted me they gave me money to go get the vending machine. They wanted drinks and such. But I liked hanging out in the prototype airplane runway protection vehicle. And Atlanta was the first people to get it. I was in the prototype, the general and the guy that invented it from Japan, right? Well, the general's son was about my age and everything. When I was 19, he was about, the general's son was about, probably about 14 or 13, but he's kind of young though. I don't think he's preteen, but he's actually a teenager. I whipped out my deck cart, and I was trying to be cool with him and stuff. We're in this vehicle, prototype vehicle, before, my dad's talking to the general and such. I'm trying to keep this kid occupied because he's rambunctious and such. So I got this magic trick that I showed one other kid back in 1986 in the Philadelphia airport going to England, England in '86. Because I needed money to play Indiana Jones arcade game. I was about 10 years old when I showed this other kid in Philadelphia airport. Because we had bad weather and everything. We had it was like really bad that time. So everybody was scared and everything. I calmed everybody down with this magic trick. This kid. Anyway, so this general's kid back at his prototype, one of a kind prototype fire protection vehicle. So he used this magic trick and occupied him and everything. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, so that was like 96, 97. He gave me a hat called Best of the Best, right? Black hat, cadre and everything. It's pretty cool. So, well, I'm about to, see what time it is. 10:14. Yeah, what if, worst case scenario, what if, get acquired taste for like canned food and such. That's last resort though. I eat my Frosties and my fresh food first, because what if you lose power, so there you go. But I have a whole boatload of money to spend, and I don't know where to spend it. Not that much, So I'm gonna hire some cleaning people in here to clean up the place, and I'm gonna relocate somewhere in Nashville that I'm still kind of youthful in my eyes, in my book. I'm still kind of like, strapping young man still, other than this weather that we have in straight 90 degrees, and it's under circumstances of the virus. I'm looking up, trying to be relevant with the news, not just mandatory localized news, actual news from other local, other cities and such that you might relate to, that you actually been, but I don't know, just other ways of looking at news and such, not too relevant, like RT and Sky News, Japanese news, got Japanese, and Al Jazeera's English, all various places to look up news and such. But my news was the financial news, because I like to get lost in that realm, like wishful thinking, like ambition or something. So that was my thing to do. Well, I stated what I had to say, and yeah, that's good. I want to play. I want to look at my Destiny 2 videos. It's good Destiny 2 weather, so we're gonna call it. Call it like I see it. So try to get some sleep. Lazy day. Saturdays are pretty cool. Trying to look up. See, I don't look up Nashville like things on YouTube, like the music, the country music. I don't wanna intervene with the country music or the how the ecosystem is in Nashville. But what I do is I like to look up places that I used to live at, like St. Louis and Lakenheath, England, Shalimar and Panama City, Florida and such. So I'm gonna oh, did I tell y'all about how that's another day, but yeah, so stay you, be stay true, be you, something like that notion. Alright.